Hello ladies and gents, it's the Beanie 101 here, and I'm bringing you another XCOM Enemy Within video. This time I'm going to be giving you my guide to the Heavy class, and the Heavy class is a really good class. It's also one of the easiest when it comes to leveling up, because there are some very obvious decisions along the skill tree which are pretty much going to be no-brainers. I can talk you through my reasoning why I think that, but what makes the Heavy class unique to start with is the fact that you can fire rockets. Rockets are awesome, learn to love them, it will get you out of a jam on a regular basis, so really useful to have. The first skill that I want to talk about is Holo Targeting. This gives you an extra 10% aim to any other enemies that, any other allies that attack a particular enemy. It's alright. I suppose it paints a target on someone. You shoot at someone, it paints a target on them, so everyone else has a better chance of hitting them. It's okay. I don't mind it. The fact is, the other skill, Bullet Swarm, is just so much better. If you've got lots of heavies, then you can take Holo Targeting, but most of my heavies, almost all the time, I take Bullet Swarm, because if you shoot first turn, you get an extra turn. Sorry, it doesn't end your turn. So it means you can shoot twice. And if you've seen any of my other guides, then you will know my views on being able to shoot multiple times on the same turn. On Classic and Impossible, the more shots that you can get off, the absolute better you're going to be. The quicker you can mow down enemies on Classic and Impossible, it's what you want to do. So you've got to take Bullet Swarm 9 times out of 10 on your Heavy class. At Sergeant, you get the ability to take a Shredder Rocket. Now, the reason why I more often than not take Shredder Rocket over the other skill, which I will be coming on to in a moment, is because it's an extra rocket. Your Heavy usually only comes with 1 rocket. There are some upgrades later on in the game, which means it's not always 1 rocket, but Suppression is the other skill. The support class also has the Suppression skill, and to be perfectly honest, it's probably better suited to the support class rather than the Heavy. So take the goddamn Shredder Rocket. That's all I'm going to say. Again, if you really want to mix it up, if you roll with a lot of heavies, then yeah, by all means take Suppression, but Shredder Rocket just, again, it saves you bacon quite often. Especially when you upgrade later on and potentially have all your rockets doing more damage. It means that you can do more damage from any subsequent shots as well, so it's really useful. At Lieutenant, there is one choice and one choice only, and in my eyes it's heat ammo. It gives you plus 50% damage against robotic enemies, and the reason why that's useful is because later on in the game you'll be facing a lot of robotic enemies. It has taken a bit of a nerf in XCOM Enemy Within. It used to be 100% damage in Enemy Unknown. It's 50%. It's still awesome. So generally take heat ammo. Rapid reaction is fine. It gives you a second reaction shot if your first Overwatch shot hits, but it's a little bit funky. If you trigger the Overwatch and the enemy doesn't move, it doesn't trigger straight away. It doesn't fire 2 shots straight away. It triggers 1 shot. If it hits, the enemy has to move another tile for it to trigger the second shot. So, in my eyes, if it was 2 shots at the same time, then yeah, this might be useful. I don't know. Heat ammo just serves me better, more regularly later on in the game than rapid reaction does. That extra 50% damage is still going to cause more damage output more regularly than the second reaction shot. At Captain, you've got the Grenadier skill, which gives you 2 grenades in a single inventory slot. It also gives additional damage to frag grenades, alien grenades, and needle grenades. Useful, especially on things like Classic, where your frag grenade is not going to take out many enemies straight away in 1 hit early on in the game, but I'll be honest with you, I've taken Grenadier with this particular Heavy because I do have a couple of other Heavies on my playthrough. So I wanted to take Grenadier just to mix it up a little bit. But more often than not, I usually take Danger Zone. It gives you a greater range on all of your rockets. a greater area of effect by an extra 2 tiles, and that could mean the difference between getting multiple enemies in one rocket shot and getting one enemy in a rocket shot. So Danger Zone to me, again, is much more useful overall, but feel free to take Grenadier if you really like. The only thing to be careful of with Danger Zone is that by increasing the area of effect by 2 tiles, you do have to be a little bit more careful about where you place your own troops, because it means that you can hit your own troops if they're close to other enemies. So that's the one thing that you should bear in mind with Danger Zone. But in all honesty, it is generally the better skill in my eyes. At Major, you get a skill called Will to Survive. It reduces all normal damage taken by 2 if you're in cover and you're not flanked. If you're not in cover, I'm going to ask you, what the fuck are you doing? You should be in cover at pretty much all times, so reducing damage by 2 if you get hit is good. Colonel rank is probably one of the only ranks where the heavy class poses you a slightly tricky question, because you can take either of these skills and they're actually both good. Rocketeer gives you an additional rocket per battle. No, it says additional standard rockets, so you get 2 rockets, shredder rockets, so you end up with 3 rockets. This is good. Thumbs up to this. We like an extra rocket. But Mayhem gives you additional damage based on the weapon tech to any suppression shots and any area of effect abilities. Do you want your rockets to cause more damage? If you do, take Mayhem. Now, you can cut this a couple of ways. There are times when Mayhem is going to be dealing more damage, especially if you have multiple enemies together and you need to take things down in one shot. That extra damage that you can potentially get with Mayhem is really, really useful. If the enemies are a bit more spaced out and they're not grouped together, then you know what? Rocketeer with the extra rocket may actually be more useful, because you've got an extra chance to hit someone. You've got an extra rocket, so it's a useful, it's an interesting choice in your last rank. But that's my guide to the heavy class. I hope you enjoyed the video. Please hit that like button, or if you want to check out my XCOM Enemy Within playthrough, then there is the playlist down below. But thanks ever so much for watching, and I'll see you again soon.